And then just for people to really understand, you know, there's a lot of hoops to go through,
Mhm.
to avoid these EMFs. Just so people at home really understand and can make a real effort. What are the negative effects of EMF? We talked about it expanding the distance for electrons that need travel to create energy, right? So you're going to damage your ability to create ATP, which every single organ and organelle run off of. So can we really just kind of go deep? Because I know people are going to be like, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So just like
Mhm.
hammer in, weigh it really heavy on the other side.
Yeah, of course. So EMFs are obviously extremely damaging. Not only are they going to do exactly what you just said, but they're also going to stop. You know, when we spoke about proteins opening with ATP and then the semiconduction of electrons happening, it's going to stop them from being in the right order. So you can kind of think of the electromagnetic field creating a grid in your body, and then electrons are going to flow through the grid, except for it's mismatched and it's not in the right places. And so therefore it's extremely inefficient for us to do those things. Something else that's really bad is the electromagnetic fields, they open up something called a voltage gated calcium channel.
Yeah,
So it's
I heard that.
basically, yeah, this channel in the cell which lets in calcium. And so calcium is a signaling molecule. We get a little bit in, and then it tells our body, okay, this cascade of events happen here, and this calcium happens, and then so we get a cascade of events happening over here. But what happens when that channel's open is all this calcium is flooding inside of the cell, which is going to change the voltage of that cell. And then what happens from there is that our body's like, okay, alert, calcium, we need to get it out. So then things like different proteins will start to sequester calcium to try and get it out. Although if we're around EMFs, like even if I hold my phone, this is happening in my hand. Probably why my hands are so sore after being on my device. But so something that really bad that happens is the mitochondria, they kind of abandon their position of tunneling electrons and making heat, light, and water, and they start to sequester the calcium. So they're kind of like a sponge, and they're soaking up this calcium, trying to get out of the cell, which is not good because then we have a dysfunctional cell, dysfunctional mitochondria. And then throw in the blue light, our inability to take out bad cells, and we're actually replicating them and increasing our chances of disease. So that's something that's really bad. Another thing is that when we get this calcium flooding in the cell, it also increases nitric oxide presentation inside the cell. So nitric oxide, we know that it increases our blood vessels, dilates them. Um, but what it's actually doing inside the cell, inside the mitochondria, is we spoke about water being made in that electron transport chain at complex 4. So what it actually does is at the bottom of complex 4, it docks there. So therefore you can't actually make water. So it completely dehydrates the cell and stops it from making water, which is actually a good thing because it's really making that cell so dysfunctional that it needs to be taken out via autophagy or apoptosis. Only if you're surrounded by blue light at nighttime, you don't have a good sleep schedule, or you're sleeping with lots of electromagnetic fields around you, you're not actually going to be able to take out those bad cells. And so they're just going to continue to sit there or replicate and then, yeah, increase your chances of chronic disease, which is not good.
Oh, absolutely not. Wow. If you believe more constructive information like this should be out there for people to know, please leave a like on this video. And if you're a person who's into self-development in all aspects of their life, please subscribe because that is what we do here at Good Demand. Keep demanding good things. And if you haven't bought a pair of our Good Night Blue Blockers and you use a phone at night or an iPad or TV at night, please consider buying a pair of these. They're beautiful and they work so well and they help support our growth.